This one. See, they have like this shooting. They have some kind of streaks. They're gonna be perfect, like here. Just what we need. Yeah, streaks. We have directions. Does it work? Okay. We have line white. Tail fade. If you want it like less faded, as you see this streak, we can fade it out as well. So it has this kind of motion blur added to it. This multi-streak, just like multi-point, it just generates a bunch of them from single point. We go to everybody here, render attributes. Everybody's at particle attributes, so we click render attributes, we open it up, and this is your option menu. Particle render type. These are options for particles, what do they look like. So we went through point, multi-point, streak, multi-streak. We can do numeric. That's for no. Numeric is for it gives you an ID number per particle. So that's good for times we want to calculate, write expressions, and see what's going on. Basically, it's not being rendered anyways. It's just for animation purposes. So next one is spheres. So that'll be shaded mode. See, that's very convenient when you want to see them clearly. So you can choose a spheres node, spheres type, and then you have the option which is radius for a sphere. Okay, spheres, then sprites, streaks, blobby. Blobby is fun. Blobby is make it pretty much like liquid, but I mean, if we go to where's that blobby? Oh, current. See, if you click on render, it gives you that glue thing. All right, so if you radius and threshold. And maybe bigger radius, and then a little less, more threshold. That's our blobby surface. Now that's software. Okay, now we have cloud. That also can be rendered in software, Maya software. That color is controlled through hypershade. Let's go open hypershade. Let's see where that. You by default you have Lambert and you have a particle shader. So that's where it controlled from. So if you choose a color, you can make your own particle cloud, and you can just select that. If you don't want a default one, you can make your own and assign. All right, and then now we can open it and say we want another color. One's red, yellow. And then these incandescence, transparency. See what happens? Everybody follows me? So right now it's a cloud. And current render type, we only have we have radius here. the threshold for? Let's see. It doesn't change much. Okay. And then there's a tube, which is also, a tube is current random time. It's also good for sparks, but it's only, the difference it renders in software. So if we go, let's make a smaller radius so we can see what actually happens there. And we have tail size. Let's go to shader and make it less transparent. Window, hypershade, so we can see it. So this was too transparent. Let's make transparency 0 so we can see them. Yeah. That's another particle node. Particle render type called tube. And you see, if you see SW, that means they've been rendered in software. Because, for example, the rest you can render mental array, but not in my software. Plus, you can render multipoints, points, and sprites. Points, you can render them only. You see, it doesn't render Maya software, so you have to switch. You have to switch your render to Maya hardware, and now we can see them. Or there's another window called, when it's a bit faster than the regular render view. It's only used for hardware render because it's been controlled by a video card. So as much RAM, the better video card you have, the better the results you'll get, the faster. And it's called hardware render buffer. So it gives you immediate preview on our particles. And okay, multipoint, like I can make it streak, for example. See how it streaks. And then we have render settings here for hardware. And like, for example, you have more samples give it that nice motion blur, but it takes longer. So 9 samples, it kind of runs the frame through 9 times. You really see it. Motion blur. My frame, let's take 3 frames. See the motion blur now. So we change here. We change the motion blur, we added motion blur, and then by frame. So if you say for 16 frames, for example, the tail will get longer. See? And exposures, let's add 16 exposures. It's going to take longer to render, see, to calculate. Yeah. $600 per second. See the difference between this and this. So just it's the same. Maybe I need to add some color. Well, I'll show you later. Okay. That's about render settings and render type. So there's different views to show particles.